Hiya, welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast slash FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece. Today is Monday the 17th of August 2020, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 18. Big welcome back to all returning viewers. Love you guys, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the Stitch With Me. Okay, let me tell you what I'm working on, and then we'll explain all this stuff, because it's exciting. So many things. And it'll tell you, okay. I am stitching the, Baba Black Sheep, by the Prairie Schooler. This was gifted to me by Michelle Bindi, Michelle Bindi Stitchy, and I blew it up because it was like business card size. I'm doing it on an 18 count Ada that was dyed by Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher. And I obviously am changing colors because I'm using a pink fabric, and so these are my 3 colors. Classic Colorworks Black Coffee, DMC 780, and DMC 02. Okay. So let's talk about, okay, first thing. Well, first thing, I got new glasses. Are they not the funkiest, amazing ever? They're flowers. Okay. So yeah, so I got new glasses. I got ones with blue blockers in them because I'm spending more time, on my computer, as of late, and, Dammy and Russ had gotten, blue blockers in their new glasses and liked them. There went my pattern flying away. Why don't I set my mouse on it? There we go. So I ordered them. We get all of our glasses from Zenni Optical. They're amazing. I think I had to wait, it was under 2 weeks from the time I ordered them. And I have very old eyes, so I have to have progressive lenses. And for the progressive lenses with the blue blocker was under $70. So, highly recommend them. Okay. So, do you guys remember last week when I recorded this and I was like, I really wish I had a boom arm camera thingy like Michelle Bindi Stitchy so I can be as cool as Michelle Bindi Stitchy and not have such issues with setting up to do a stitch with me? Well, after I recorded, I went on the Amazon to look and see what I could find. And as I was looking, there was this thing, actually the box is right here. I'll show you. Ooh, sorry, I just bumped the camera. This way. It's called a gooseneck phone holder. And they were having They were having a lightning sale for it. So it clamps to the table, and then it's just like this squeezy thing that you put your phone in. And it was lightning sale for half the price of a boom arm. So I ordered it and it came in, and I'm doing it for the first time. So if you see me like looking, it's because I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually on the camera with the recording. Yeah. So we'll see how it works. It was easy to set up. And hopefully it's going to be easier for me to stitch because I can hold the fabric closer to me like how I normally stitch. But I'm also like anxious a little bit about making sure that you can actually see what I'm stitching. So if you see me checking it out, that's why. So if you watched last week's regular podcast slash FlossTube episode and or follow me on social media, you will know, okay, one more stitch. You will know about my whole Instagram debacle. Well, it continues. So what happened was, about 10 or 11 days ago, I was blocked on Instagram from both my public CC_Allman account, my private personal account, and Pink Pearl's account, Pink Pearl Allman. I was blocked from being able to post photos, like photos, comment on photos, or comment on your comments, or follow anyone. Every once in a while, it will work for me to do a story, but that usually takes multiple times of posting it until it just finally forces its way through. I have contacted Instagram now probably in excess of 100 times with zero response, no response at all to anything. The first time I was blocked for 5 days. They unblocked me. I posted, we celebrated, I was so excited. 12 hours later, they blocked me again. And it has now been another 5 days that I have been blocked. When I last checked mid-morning, I was still blocked. You ask why? I don't know. I have not done anything different than what I have been doing in the past. Yeah, nothing has changed that should have caused them to block me. I've had other people, let's see, hold on, I'm trying to make sure I get the right stitch here, right here, right? 1, 2, yes. And what else? Okay. Oh, actually, because we're going to go to there, we can do 4 stitches. I'll talk to myself while I stitch and knit, both. I've had other people contact on my behalf. I've had other people post in their stories. No one is getting a response to this. And I've also been contacted by other people who said that this has happened to them as well. For some unknown reason, blocked, nothing we do changes it. I have logged out of Instagram. I have uninstalled Instagram, restarted my phone, reinstalled it. Nothing I do will fix it. It's very frustrating. I will try not to cry in this as I did on last week's episode, but it's really frustrating because that is where I get most of my community interaction, especially with now being off Ravelry. I do have Facebook, and the podcast group is on Facebook. If you have not joined that yet, it is facebook.com/groups/GGKCS. And, but Facebook, I primarily use Facebook for groups. There is way too much crap that gets posted in the news feeds of Facebook that I actively try to avoid. I don't like to be on Facebook on my phone. I don't feel like the app is user friendly. I have not used Twitter actively in many years. So Instagram is my place. And so it's disappointing. It's extremely bad customer service that they don't respond to any support requests. Yeah. So here I sit waiting, hoping that eventually I'll get back access to my account and that it will remain unblocked. I just don't know. I just really don't know. So, a lot of frustration, a lot of emotions. I've journaled the crap out of it, which is probably why I'm not crying today, because I've journaled so much about it. And just that feeling of just all of a sudden, out of the blue, unexpected, 1 second your community is there and the next second it's gone. So that is not cool at all, and that is where I am with social media. What else is going on around here? Holy crap, we had an extreme heat advisory yesterday, or extreme heat warning, whatever you call it. It got into the 90s, which I'm from Texas. I understand heat. I lived in heat for many years. But in Texas, the norm was air conditioning. That's not the norm up here. Yeah, so it was definitely a tough day yesterday especially because heat and humidity really triggered my fibromyalgia, so my pain level's up. It's not supposed to get as hot today, but still hot. So hopefully things will calm back down and we can get back to the weather temperature that I like, because this is not cool. Dammy has 7 school days. I'll split the heater right there. Go right there. Dammy has 7 school days of their science classes that they're taking at the community college left, and yeah, and then a break before the fall quarter starts. That's about it. We have just been trying to stay cool, which means lots of water. Popsicles, we're living on popsicles. We had ice cream and popsicles yesterday because it was so hot. I know this is a FlossTube technically episode. I'm going to have to pull that back because the strand is not long enough. Okay, dadgummit, where's it at? Right there. Aha, there we go. That way I can get it back in the needle and weave it in. I have started the test knit for my new knitting pattern that will be out in October, along with its sister pattern that had already been tested but just had not ever been released. So that was something that was on my plate the last few days, was contacting my testers and typing up the pattern and yeah, just getting that all set up. So they're knitting on that now. So that has been something I spent time on. And I just continue to be working on getting patterns moved off Ravelry and onto Etsy and PayHip, which I was talking with my testers this morning because they were asking us if there was anything they could do to help. Several of them were, or a couple of them were. And I was like, there's really nothing anybody can do. I said, it's not that it's difficult. It just takes time. Because I have to go in and download all the images and the PDF, upload all the images and PDF to both Etsy and PayHip, write out the description, and get it all posted for sale, and then put the links for purchase take the pattern off of sale on Ravelry and put the pattern link, the links to be able to purchase, because Ravelry is a database of patterns. So I'm not removing the database entry. I am removing the ability to purchase the pattern on Ravelry. So I'm putting in the alternate links of where you can purchase, and also updating our Java Pearl Designs website. So that the new pattern links are available so people know where they can purchase. I'm debating now. I think it should be fine to carry it across those stitches. Okay. Because this is the last row on this bag of wool. Okay, well, gosh, good grief, I've been talking for almost 15 minutes about all of that. Let's do some 300 writing prompts. This is a book from Barnes & Noble that I picked up to do some journaling using it, and then decided to use it for Stitch With Me prompts. And this is the hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. If you would like to answer the prompts in your own podcast or FlossTube, if you could just link the using the hashtag. Or if you don't have a podcast or FlossTube and want to answer them in like the YouTube comments, that's awesome too. Okay, let's go with the first question is, where would you like to go on a day trip? You must drive there and back in one day, but you have unlimited funds for gas, food, and activities. What popped into my, I know where I would want to go, and I think I actually talked about this maybe on a previous FlossTube, or previous Stitched With Me, so I need to skip 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would want to go down to Portland, Oregon. I've been there several times because pre-pandemic, I would go to the First Thursday meetups at Acorns and Threads, which is a crusted shop in Portland. But I would like to go down and go, what's the name of the bookstore? Powell's Books. I would like to go to that. That's where the nearest Cracker Barrel is, and we love Cracker Barrel. It's a restaurant. In case you don't know, it's a country restaurant, country-style food restaurant with this, like, country store in it, like an old general store type thing in it. We love that restaurant so much, and that's the closest one. I know there are other things to do in Portland, and it's just escaping my mind right now what they are. But, yeah, we would like to take a family trip down to Portland, and not in the heat, though. So it would have to be cooled off because it's warmer down there than it even is here. Well, yeah, I think it was warmer there yesterday than up here, too. So yeah, so that would be what I would want to do, is do a Portland day trip. It's about a 3-hour drive each way, so it would be a lot of time in the car, but I've done it. So yeah, that would be where we would go, is Portland. Hopefully once the pandemic is over, we can actually make that happen. Okay, what's the next? Another 4. Okay. You have a child. I do. They will be 21 in October. And you've written one piece of advice that will be carried in his, her, their pocket for life. What is that advice? I think it is something that I am still learning as well, but the knowledge that what other people think of you is none of your business. I mean, I want people to like me and for who I am, and like what I do and such. But when it comes down to it, I can't let what other people think of me or don't think of me control who I am. I have to be comfortable in my own skin with who I am and what I do, and not try to force myself to be someone I'm not, just to try to make people like me. So I actually have that quote, that saying, what others think of me is none of my business. I have it actually, my desk is in here in the dining room. It's my office space because we don't eat at the table. So, but my desk faces a window, and I've got that printed and hung up on the blinds of the window. I also have it printed and hung on the mirror in the bathroom because it is that important for me to remember, because that's a hard one. That is definitely a hard thing, because we want people to like us. We want people to like what we do. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it is definitely a hard thing, and it's something that I wish I had learned and been confident in at a younger age, because it's it's something that I have struggled with for many years. And I have gone through phases of being a people pleaser, and that's not cool. So that would be the advice, and the advice that I have given to Dammy. What other people think of you is none of your business. So just that reminder of, you have to be who you are and be strong in yourself, and know that the right community will come together around you because of who you are, not because you're trying to fit in to a particular group. So, yeah. Be you. You be you, be you. Okay. Next up, what is your favorite game to play? I'm going to answer that two ways. I want to answer card game and board game. Card game, probably Phase 10. It's a gin rummy game, kind of with a twist. And there are 10 phases, each with requirements that you have to meet in order to win the game. I actually, sometime during the pandemic, probably in the last month or so, found that they have a iPhone app of Phase 10, and I've got it on my phone, and I play it sometimes just to whatever. I have other card game apps on my phone. Before I did Phase 10, I played a lot of Spades and a lot of Gin Rummy on my phone. Well, I mean, I didn't play a lot, but when I would want to play a game on my phone, that would be what I would play. If we're talking board games, and this would have to be in person, obviously, and so not right now because of pandemic, Settlers of Catan, which is I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so I have to do one stitch there, and it needs to go 2 longer than the previous row. Like, there's this board that gets set. I'm sure those of you who play Settlers of Catan are like, this is how you should describe it, Cece. And yeah. So it's a board that gets set up, but it can be chained. I mean, like, every setup is different. And there are there 4 resources or 5 resources? I think 4, but I could be wrong because it's been a while since I've played, because you need multiple people to play it. I think you need to have at least 3 people to play it. But you build houses or settlements and cities and roads on this board, and you get resources based on the roll of the dice, and you earn points based on what you've built, and there's ways to get bonus points, and the first person to get to, I can't remember how many points it is, 8, 10, I don't know, wins the game. So it's a fun one because it, like I said, it changes every single time you play because of how the board gets set up, how the dice is rolled, how you're able to build. So it is a really fun one, and I really enjoy playing that. It usually gets played with my mom's group when I get to play it. We'll have we'll get together without the children, or sometimes we get together all the families, and then there's enough older kids to entertain the younger kids so that adults can play. So that is probably my favorite board game, Settlers of Catan. Okay, let's do one more question, and then we'll call it a day. So I can get this edited and uploaded, and I've got a little bit more work to do before I can call it a day and relax. Okay, so this question is, do you absolutely hate any foods that other people usually like? Yes, the 2 that I can think, well, one that I can think of that I think most people like is bananas. And it's not the flavor, it's the texture. Because I'll eat like banana bread, but I can't eat just a raw banana. the texture just does something to me, and I'm just like, no, I cannot handle this. The other one that I think I don't know if most people like, but a lot of people like, which for me is another texture issue, is coconut. Because I'll drink coconut milk, or like use it in my coffee and such, but I can't handle the texture. So, I'm going to stop stitching right there so that I don't get a partial row done, since we're going to be ending things. The pattern so you can see where I'm at. So that bag's done other than filling in the letter, and so I've started right here on this one. So yeah, bananas and coconut because of texture. I don't know why I'm so sensitive to texture, but in discussing it with other people, it seems like a lot of times if people don't like those things, it's also because of texture. So, yeah, bananas and coconut. Okay, well, we're going to call it a day here. I got a good bit of stitching. Was able to finish that that one bag and start on the second bag. And this one is a little bit bigger because I'm so sorry if I just made you like dizzy because I just hit this. It's going to take some getting used to of this up here because it's right here. You can't see it. Oh. There you go. And the window right there blows things out too. This bag is obviously bigger because it's got 2 letters in it. So, yeah, but I only work on this during Stitch With Me, so you will see my progress week to week as I work on it. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you've joined me today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. If you answer the prompts either on your podcast or FlossTube, make sure you use hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. So other people can find it, or feel free to answer the questions, the prompts that I answered in the YouTube comments. If you've not joined our Facebook group, come join us. We're going to be doing some, I just realized I hadn't drank any water, I hadn't drank any water during this, and I filled my water glass up, especially because I knew I would need it when I was talking so much. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I'm looking at the calendar. Next week, we will announce them because our 8th podiversary is 2 weeks from yesterday. So we will be doing those in the Facebook group. So if you have not joined the Facebook group, you should come join. Facebook.com/groups/GGKCS. There's 3 questions you have to answer. First, what's our cat's name? Pink. Or Pink Pearl, P-U-R-L, if you want to do that, but Pink. Who's the mama, Cece or Dammy? Me, Cece. And the third thing is you have to read the questions, get all the way to the bottom, and check mark that you agree with them. If you don't answer the questions, we give you 24 hours to answer the questions, or we deny your request because we're just trying to keep spammers out of the group. You can also find us online everywhere. Everywhere we are online is on our website, ggkcs.com. There are links to Instagram, Facebook groups. We do have a Twitter account that we like cross-post stuff to, but I'm not active on Twitter. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, etc. I'm trying to think where else. I think that might be all. But anyway, there's links to everything there. And we will be back with you. Well, we recorded it on Thursday, but it goes live Friday morning with our regular weekly podcast /FlossTube episode where my adult child joins me and we chat about knitting and cross stitch and geeky things. Yeah, until then, stay cool, stay hydrated. If you're out, wear your mask. I'm enjoying seeing fabric choices of masks that people have. Dammy's gotten some really cool ones. I have probably about 7 or 8 ones in a basket on my desk, so I can grab one when I do go out, which is not very often, but when I go out, I wear one. and happy crafting. And we will see you again at the end of the week. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye.